Okay, so page 6. We just figured out what goes in the blank right here. If you want to check negative, again, you're not going to find the X button on your calculator, but your calculator can help you simplify the numbers. So right here, what I would do is -2 plus -9 plus 7, and I get the -4 that I want. Okay. Let's say this one. Okay, what would the exponent have to be for me to get this answer? So remember the exponent rule. William, when I have an exponent raised to another exponent, what do I do?
You multiply.
Multiply. Right. Okay, so if I want the 6, what would this exponent have to be? 3. That's it. There you go. And I can always check. -3 to the exponent 3 gives me -27. A to the exponent 3 gives me a cubed. And c squared to the exponent 3 gives me a 6. Hey, number 5. What goes in the blank right here? Ethan? Ax cubed. Good job. All right, sorry, it's a little small. I'll zoom in. Okay. First off, I want my coefficient -8. So remember, it's something times something times something by itself 3 times to give you -8. So in this case, -2 times -2 times -2 gives you that -8. And then to get that x to the power of 9, that means this has to be x cubed. And then 3 times 3 gives you the 9. Okay. So all this is recapping what we did yesterday with the exponent rules. What about number 7? Who has that? This one. This one is tricky, right? Because there's the number x, y, and c. Ming Yang? Sorry, say that again. X to the power of 5 c. Okay, I am missing something though. Am I? Oh, wait. No, I'm not. Okay, yes, that is correct. Sorry. I thought you were missing a y. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so 20 over 15 reduces down to 4 over 3 because I can divide this by 5 and this by 5. Okay, and then in terms of the x, I want x squared. So that means 5 minus 3 gives me that 2. So that's how I know it's x to the 5. I have a c on the top, I have a y on the bottom. That doesn't change anything. So I just need it done. Okay. For questions like this, where you have to figure out what goes in the bracket, is like really step by step. So first off, looking at just the 4 over 3 first, and then second, looking at just the x squared, and then third, looking at just the y, and so forth. Okay. After you do a couple more of these, it does get easier to recognize. Okay, so I will leave the 2, 4, and 6 for you guys to try. Okay, moving on to this distributive property. Remember this term from grade 9? This distributive property? Yes. Okay, what does that mean? What does that do? When you distribute, what am I talking about? Am I adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing? Gavin? Think again? One of 4 choices. So do not divide, distribute. So for example, this is distributing. When you distribute, so then multiply. So distribute means multiply. Okay. So when do I know I have to use the distributive property? Is when I see a number outside the bracket. That's how I know I have to distribute it to everything inside by multiply. Okay, so Leandro, what is 14 times 2x? 28x, that's it. All right, don't forget to everything inside the bracket. So Leandro, 14 times negative 1. 14 times negative 1. Negative 14, good. Okay, do I times the 14 with the 6x here? No, because that's my closing bracket. So I'm telling it to just stop there. I'm only multiplying the 14 to everything inside the bracket. Okay, so what do I do with these then? Yep. Yeah, so just copy it down, carry it down. All right, it didn't disappear, as a lot of you guys like to do. I see you guys do some of the math and suddenly some terms disappear. Okay. Obviously, I'm not done the question. One more step to it. Okay, 28x, 6x. These are like terms, so I can combine them together. And then these two numbers, I can combine them together. So who has a final answer for me? Jaden, minus 17. That's it. All right. Can I combine it any further? Oh, I said Jaden. But sorry. Oh, there you go. Okay, so Jaden, can I combine it any further? No, right? Because this one has an X, this one doesn't, so I just leave it. That's my answer. Hey, let's try the next one. Okay. So right here, like if you compare question one and question three right here, question one, I said I have to multiply the 14 to everything inside the bracket. What about right here? What am I multiplying to inside the bracket? Andy, negative one. That's right. So you guys heard of the invisible one? Yeah. I don't know why they just don't write it. They have to make it invisible. So there is a negative one right here, and so you have to multiply that negative one to everything inside the bracket, which applies right here as well. Okay, it's very important that negative sign changes all the signs inside the bracket, basically. Okay, so Gavin, help me out with his negative 1 times x. Yep. Negative 1 times 2. Mm-hmm. Negative 3x, I didn't do anything with it, so I just copy it straight down. Negative 1 times 12. And then negative 1 times negative 4x. Excellent. Okay, remember two negatives make a positive? Okay. Now collecting the like terms. Okay. These are my like terms. Rashan, you want to give it a try? We'll work together. Negative 1 minus 3. Yeah. So you owe me $1. You owe me another 3. Yep. And then you paid me back 4. Yeah. So 0x or nothing. So all these canceled out. And then now you owe Leandro $2 and then another 12. That's it. Yeah. Where's your glasses? That's it. That's it. Can't do anything else. Okay. You guys are gonna definitely see this type of questions on your test, which is not this week. Might not even be next week because we have a lot of disruption next week. So I don't know yet. I have to take a look at this schedule. Yeah, yeah, based on this package. Only this package. So no surprises. Oh yeah, and there's no surprises. So anything that I ask you guys will be based on this. Uh, it's gonna be like your prerequisite, so that you guys, so that I know what you guys are struggling with. So like for example, let's say your algebra part you guys don't do so well in. So then when we get into the grade 10 chapter 5, I know to spend a little bit more time on the algebra before we get into that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Any questions so far? Alright, so a little bit more. Okay, so again, my lessons are about 20 minutes, so I still have about 10 minutes to go. Okay, this one, I want to find the perimeter and area of this shape. Page 7. Page 7, number 6. Page 7, number 6. Okay, so how do I find perimeter of any shape? Sydney, add all the sides on the outside. Excellent. So in this shape right here, how many sides do I have? 6 sides. How many numbers do I see? 4. That means I have to figure out how long this is and how long this is for perimeter. Okay, good. Leandro, good. How do you know? Yeah, that's it. 3x plus 2x means that this is 5x. What about this right here? William, 12. Not quite, not quite. 10, right. I knew you had the right idea. Okay. Oh, and so one thing, you cannot assume that it's right down the middle. What you have to always do is compare the parallel sides. So if this is 22 and this is 12, that means this is 10 right here. Okay. So now that I have all the sides, perimeter, as we said, is just adding up everything. So 22x plus 2x plus 10x plus 3x plus 12x plus 5x. And so perimeter is, okay, somebody do the math for me. Add it up. Sorry? 54x. Do we trust Sydney? Okay, good. Okay, 54x. And I love that she said 54x, not just 54. All right. Again, sometimes you guys like to make that x disappear. Yep. If this question is 1 mark, then you lose half a mark. If this is worth 2 marks, you lose 1 mark. Yeah. Okay. Area. You have to find the area now. Now, this shape right here is a composite figure. There's no formula for a shape like this. But what shapes are we more familiar with? Two rectangles. So it doesn't matter how you cut the rectangle. You could cut it this way or you can cut it this way. Doesn't matter. Let's say we cut it here. Okay, so this is area 1 and we'll call this area 2. Okay, I know the formula is just length times width. Okay, so for the area 1, Area 1, what's the dimension of that rectangle on the left? William? Right, so 5x times 12x, which is 60x squared. Sure. Okay, remember x times x is x squared. Because otherwise, notice right here, we were like x plus x is x already. So x times x can also be x. Okay. Area of the second one then. Okay, so William, redeem yourself. 10x times 2x.
20x squared.
Perfect. 20x squared. So when you add it together, you get, let's see, 60x squared plus 20x squared, right? 80x squared. Oops. I was just going to say, not 4. Okay, because the exponent doesn't change. Just like right here, when we're adding x, it stays as x. Here, when we add x squares, it stays as x squared. So not x squared. Okay, how are we doing so far? Good. Okay, last little bit, just going over some terminology on page 8. So just going over some terminologies with you guys. Page 8. Yep. Right here. No, because the y is your base. Because only the y is raised to the exponent 5. So what do we call 3 then? Coefficient. So the number in front of the variable is called coefficient. Right. If you recall on the grade 9 exam, there were some terms that you need to know and spelling count. So if you spell it wrong, it is half a mark off. So this is how you spell coefficient. I've seen people spell it like coefficient, like people spell it coffee. All right, what are x and y in this case? What are they called? Tated. Variables, right? All right, both x and y are called variables. What about the 5? Jonathan? Exponent. Okay. Degree of the term. This is tricky. Degree of the term. Think back to grade 9. I know those of you who were in my class, we went over it. Okay, what's the degree? Okay, good guess. All right, so then 6. Why is it 6? Yeah, the x has an invisible 1. That invisible 1 again. Okay, so when you take a look at all the exponents, it's a degree 6 in total. Oh, one thing I want to point out, the degree only applies to variables. So there's no degree on the 3. Okay, so keep that in mind. And for a 3-term expression, what do we call a 3-term expression? Trinomials. Okay. Tricycle, 3, triangle. So that's why it's 3 terms. Okay. So number 3, indicate the degree of the following then. This is tricky. There's a plus sign here, so there's 2 separate terms. Degree of this term is 7. Degree of this term is 2. Okay, so what's the degree of the whole polynomial? So degree is a number. Degree is a number. So is my degree 7 or is my degree 9? 7? 7. That's right. All right. Because, so I know a lot of you guys were thinking 9, right? It's not 9 because it's two separate terms. In a polynomial, you take the highest degree. All right, so I know you're. I'm recalling some of this stuff back from like a year ago. So if you don't remember this, it's normal. That's why we're going over this. That's why we're reviewing this. Okay, how many terms do you see here, William? 3 terms. So looking at each of the terms separately, this has a degree 7, this has a degree 9, this has a degree of 8. So highest degree is, Ethan? 9. All right. So you take the highest degree out of the terms. All right. Last one. What is the degree of -1? Gavin? Oh, oh. 0. That's right. Because remember what I just said a minute ago? Degree only applies to variables. This is it. Give me 1 more minute. Yeah, that's all. All right. Indicate the coefficient of the following. What's my coefficient here? So, AKA the number in front of the x. Leandro, -1. Good job. That invisible one right there. Yep. For this one, it's okay. That's why I'm here. If you guys know all the answers, there's no need of me. So, degree only applies to variables, Tatum. All right. So Rashan, Tatum. So degree only applies to variables. So in this case, this one has no variable; it's just a number. So that's why it's a degree of 0. Okay. Thank you for testing me. Okay, and then the last one right here. What's my coefficient? 4b. Last example, Ming 1/3. Good job. Okay, even though this is in the denominator, I could have rewritten this as like this, right? If I wrote it like this, you would have easily seen that as 1/3. So you have to recognize that these two are the same thing. Okay, and so I'm done my lesson, 23 minutes. To give you guys a break, you don't have to do these ones that I crossed out. Okay, so your work is up to and including Gavin and including page 8. All right, up to and including page 8. Yes.